Alright, hello everybody, we are back with episode 15, I believe this is. We're at the Dutch Grand Prix. I'm very good at the Dutch Grand Prix. I streamed a couple of days ago and I ended up... I wanted the stream to be of online lobbies, but I ended up doing time trials for the last hour of stream at the Netherlands. So I've definitely got my practice in for this track, as I'm sure will come to light later on in this video, but first of all we've got to go through the practice sessions, haven't we? I do really enjoy this track. It is one of my favourites on the calendar.
Just look at that sea of orange.
Hello,
No
Crofty.
surprises if I tell you we're here in Holland at Zandvoort for the Max
But yeah, I'm feeling quite confident coming into this weekend. I do really love Zandvoort. It is definitely one of my favourite tracks to drive. Not the greatest to watch, I must say, although I think the 2023 Dutch Grand Prix does have to be up there with one of my favourites. I think it was 2023, the one that there was about 8 pits per driver, because the weather was constantly on and off and on and off. But yeah, we're into quali now, just double checking the setup. Everything looks fine, I believe. So we get to go to the track. Now unfortunately I'm a bit of an idiot and I did click flying lap instead of drive out, so you guys, we are just going to cut to the end of the out lap there. Coming around the final corner now. Try and take a wide line so we carry as much speed down straight as we can, although it doesn't really work out. I actually don't know what's faster. Coming down turn 1. In my head it makes sense that going wide at turn 1 makes you faster, but anyway. Come to the end of sector 1, we set a 24-1 and purple in the first sector. But yeah, I'm feeling quite confident. I try and take this corner flat and we go wide and we get grass on the front tyres and on the rears, and then as soon as I touch the accelerate we go all the way around, try and wheel spin the car and touching the wall, no actual wing damage. But yeah, it's a good run for our first quali lap. Purple sector 1 and then absolutely bottle it, but we do try again. Of course, coming around the final corner again. Had no cooldown lap or anything, we just straight went again, which is why our battery is so low. But we're here for trying. We ended up coming 3/10 down in the first sector. We didn't have the best, I think it's turn 3 or turn 4, which I do struggle at a bit. It's a 49-1 though in the middle sector. I don't really know how competitive sectors are around this track. All I know is you want to be around the 110s, 111s to be around the top 10. And we get just that, a 110.628. So now coming on to our second lap, we actually had a plan coming into this. I looked at the lap time, the lap differences, and Crawford, I think he needs a little bit of a tow. So we ended up coming out a bit early, almost wheel spin it into the wall. That would have been embarrassing. But yeah, Crawford's in P6. We know we can go fast around this track, especially now that it will be our first attempt. So as we come around the final corner, 3 minutes 30 left on the timer. I believe the AI will leave around 2:30. The first AI will be out around 2:30, so it's all about trying to go as fast as you can, not only for your own fastest lap, but to get out ahead of your teammate, so I can give him a tow for his flying lap. As we're just about to hit the 2:30 mark, and we set a 48.3 in the middle sector, another green sector, and there's all the cars coming out, as said, around the 2:30s. We're 7/10 up here on our flying lap, and it is a 109.8. We get into the 9s, but still Verstappen 7/10 faster. And as you can see, coming around the final corner, our teammate is the car behind us, and we are hoping that whatever we are doing with our rear wing, it's enough of a tow. We move to the right hand side and we let him through, and hopefully just that little tow down the main straight is enough, but we'll have a look at that. Go ahead, Crofty.
For years, the passionate Dutch fans have been easy to find trackside in races across Europe. Here this weekend, it's even easier to find the Dutch fans as they have a race to call their own once again. A warm welcome to all of our viewers in the Netherlands and around the globe, of course, as we get underway for the Dutch Grand Prix. 4 lefts and 10 rights make up the 14 corners of the narrow and demanding Zandvoort circuit, with plenty of peaks and valleys over the course of the 2.6-mile lap, which will demand absolute concentration from our drivers here today. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verschoor.
So we're actually starting P3, and Williams 4.5 is pretty impressive. Stroll P7, Leclerc P8, and our teammate ended up coming 10th, so I don't think our tow was quite so effective. Maybe should have done it down a different straight, but you can't really complain. Antonelli 16th is pretty terrible, and Alonso 17th. Is that the worst position we have? Yes, it is. Hadjar takes a penalty as well, but he'd be round the back anyway, so pretty average grid. Thank you, Crofty, for doing that. I did realise coming as I was doing that on the last year's game, when I was playing this, I massively struggled on fuel. Like, I was leading by like 20 seconds, and then all of a sudden I realised, oh no, wait, we're running out of fuel. But anyway, looking at the tyres, Sainz, Russell, Behrman and Doohan on the hards, Tsunoda, Stroll, Ocon, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Bortolesso and Hadjar on the mediums. Everybody else is on the softs, so we have all 3 tyres being used. Hards being the least popular of that, with only 4 cars, and I believe there was about 8 on the mediums, and then the other 8 on the softs, something like that. Sorry, the other 10. I forgot there's 22 cars, not 20. Anyway, there's us lining up P3. I don't know if you have noticed, but I think it was at the end of Hungary, we did get a new secondary sponsor, so I've stuck them onto the car. You can see them on the rear wing. But yeah, anyway, the lights are on. And we are racing in the Netherlands, and it's a very wheel-spinny start, unlike Alexander Albon, who gets away absolutely fantastically. He's already wheel-to-wheel with Lando Norris, and they're already battling for P2, but Max Verstappen gets away perfectly, and he keeps his first place. Alex Albon actually getting second, but he goes a little bit wide, but he does have second for the time being. Lando Norris third. We're trying to go around the outside of Lando Norris, but we can't do that, and we stay fourth. Yuki Tsunoda fifth, Charles Leclerc sixth, and now just coming through the fun little S's. This corner we can usually take a lot faster, but of course the dirty air really holding us back. Same with this corner, not quite as fast as we did in qualifying, because we'll do that. Of course, a bit hard under the dirty air, and it's actually allowed Tsunoda to get wheel to wheel with us, but we slam the door shut on him. And now coming down the back straight, Albon and Norris still wheel to wheel with each other, and now Norris on the inside line. Will he get that P2 place? Yes, he will. Best friends turned enemies. Coming around the penultimate and now the final corner, and look at the lead that Max Verstappen already has in P1. That is actually shocking. He's 4 seconds ahead of me already. I'm guessing by the fastest lap. He set a 1:15, we did a 1:19. So he's about 4 seconds. We cut to lap 4 then. And I'm sure you know what's going to happen. Albon no longer with DRS. We have the DRS, we have the ERS, we have the slipstream, we have everything going for us. And we get ahead of the Thai driver. Or do we? Because he's coming straight back at us. And we leave the space on the inside, but Albon backs out. He knows it's a fast corner, he knows it's risky. So we keep the podium place, at least for now. Lap 10, we come into the pits then, and Max Verstappen is also in the pits. So Lando Norris gets to be freed. Albon and Leclerc also coming into the pits. Tsunoda and my teammate staying out. Piastri coming into the pits. Carlos Sainz and Hamilton staying out, along with Ocon and Russell staying out. So we are coming out P9. Behrman and Doohan coming round turn 1 as we come round turn 1, and we will come out ahead of them. That is really good for us. No traffic. And now all the drivers whose teammate hasn't pitted yet is now coming in. There goes Ocon, there goes Hamilton, there goes Tsunoda, there goes Norris, and our teammate, sorry, of course, as well. And we actually come out ahead of Norris, so we've actually got to P2, net P2, because there is still the Williams of Carlos Sainz, who is leading the race, but Max Verstappen's right in his tail, and then there's Russell in front of us, who won't pit for a while because he's on the hards. Anyway, at the start of lap 13, down into turn 1, we move to the right, we move to the left, and Russell can't do anything against us. We leave the space on the inside, but Russell just doesn't have the grip anymore on the used hards. Sainz now comes into pits as well on the used hards, so that is now P2. And we're only 3.5 seconds ahead of behind Verstappen, and we're 3.5 ahead of Norris. And as we get onto lap 20, you can see we've kept very similar pace to Verstappen, but we've actually extended the gap on Norris. And there's a yellow flag in turn 1, and it's Max Verstappen who spun. Max Verstappen has spun at his home Grand Prix, and one Dutch driver says, no, the other Dutch driver can have this win. As I'm sure we'll get to see a replay of that, and here it is. At first I thought it was an engine failure, but no, nothing on the Honda engine of the Red Bull. Instead, he just has a little bit of a spin, has to reverse off the racing line, and comes back onto the track quite slowly, to be fair. I thought he would have been straight back to racing, because now he's lost a place to Lando Norris as well. Lap 23, you can see our left side, our left tyres are on 51 and 57%, so we decide this is the time to pit. And we have an 18.5 second lead to Charles Leclerc, so we should still come out P1. I don't know if Leclerc's going to pit 2 just to guarantee us that, because it's 24 seconds to Tsunoda, and Verstappen's 26 seconds behind. Leclerc does pit as well, so we're pretty much guaranteed to come out first. Tsunoda's pitting as well, and Carlos Sainz, so Verstappen jumps all the way to P2, and from about 25 seconds, it's just 6 seconds. And on lap 31, Jack Doohan now DNFs from the race, and there's his car there. And you're about to see the most stupidest thing I think I've ever done in an F1 race. You're leading the race by 4 seconds with 5 laps to go. You're perfect on fuel. You can coast to the end of the race. So what do? I wait till I get to the next sector so I can cause a yellow flag and cause a safety car. Now, there was a reason behind this. Basically, I did have I was starting to feel less grip, and then as soon as I realised, like, wait, why do I need grip? I have a perfect lead on Verstappen. I was like, oh, actually, teammate could probably do a catching up to Hamilton and Piastri in P5 and 6. We can get some points for the team. So I put onto the soft tyres. We let Verstappen and Norris have the top 2 podium places, and we have 3 laps. The race could end under safety car, but we have massively thrown away points for no reason really, because I was scared of a spin, and then later used the excuse of I wanted my teammate to get 2 points, so I sacrificed 7 or 8 points. On the safety car restart, I thought I could just unlap myself, but the game said nah. Then Hulkenberg and Hadjar had a little bit of fun at turn 1 with me. We dive right straight down the middle of them two. And on to the final lap here. No DRS yet. And Norris, we're going to absolutely send on him. We know we can get this win. On the final lap, we get back up to P2. So, very stupid so far. And we're now right in the back of Max Verstappen. And as we come around the final corner, we are in the slipstream. We have no more battery. We do have the DRS, but it's nothing to try and catch him. So, to be fair, looking back on it, Max Verstappen did deserve that win. We were matching his pace that whole race. And at the end, after a spin, he was starting to catch me a little bit. But he would have won that race if he didn't spin. So we just gifted the win to him. You know, we just gifted the win to Max Verstappen. You know, we knew he deserved to win, so we just gave it to him. But either way, fans are going to be happy. There's a Dutch driver in P1 and the other Dutch drivers in P2. Whether that safety car happened or not, that would have been the result. Dutch P1, Dutch P2 and Norris P3. Unfortunately, it's not our Dutch because I am an idiot. So there you see Max Verstappen, Richard Verschoor and Lando Norris. The true Dutch but born in Belgium in P1. The real true Dutch born in the Netherlands, I actually don't know about Verschoor, in P2. And the honorary Dutch of Lando Norris. The only man that isn't Dutch is whoever the fuck that guy is over there at the back of the podium. Who is that guy? We could have had a full Dutch podium. But yeah, pretty average Netherlands. Now checking the standings, we're P8. Jack Crawford P11. Slowly catching up to Antonelli is Jack Crawford. And in the constructors, we are still P5. So that's pretty much all it is to that race. Look at that fastest lap, an 11.9. The second fastest was a 12.2. We were 3 tenths faster. But anyway, we do have another meeting. After the Hungarian Grand Prix, we had a meeting with Lando Norris and our 2 current drivers. Now we have it with Franco Cola Bottle Pinto. So we go to the meeting after setting our activities up. And then there is the Argentinian. Of course, without a seat in this game, because Jack Doohan doesn't lose his seat. He's not asking for much, score 35 constructor points. Fan rating of 2, engineering workforce 210, and he wants a vehicle performance of at least 4th place. Which I think we already have, so technically we could already sign him. But anyway, now we get to the upgrades, so we just get to sit back and listen to this amazing background music, because for some reason it still sounds so good sped up. We do also have the contract window open now, so we have a look at some of the options. We only have one more option because Franco Colapinto and Lando Norris is already in our watch. And of course we have our 2 own drivers. We're thinking of pairing up Carlos Sainz with his old teammate Lando Norris. We're looking at some of the free agents, Jenson Button, David Coulthard and Aiden Jackson. But in the end, we actually decided to go for Fernando Alonso because I'd like the pairing of Philando. Yeah, you ain't heard that one yet. Fernando and Lando. Philando. So we established talks with the Spaniard that once Lando Norris was the reserve driver for, I believe he served coffee to him or something. I remember that clip. He had like a tray of tea or something. And he gave it to Fernando. Anyway, back to sped up. Anyway, now we get to the weekend. We will be driving as Jack Crawford at the Italian Grand Prix, and that signifies the end of this video. Thank you everyone for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. And goodbye.